Okay, so we got it. So we're going to talk about, this is actually, technically it's part 2 of simplifying rational expressions. But we're going to talk in particular about factoring out a negative. So if I gave you a problem like this, x plus 9 over x plus 9, what would you do? What would the answer be?
It would just be 1.
Right. X plus 9 goes in x plus 9 once. X plus 9 goes in x plus 9 once. So the answer is 1. What if I had this? 2 minus x over 2 minus x.
1.
It would still be the same thing, right? It would still be,
Then anything over itself
right?
is 1.
They're the same thing, so it's just 1. Now what if I gave you this? X plus 5 over 5, it's not plus, sorry, x minus 5 over 5 minus x.
Now that's a different story.
Now, are they the same?
No.
They're not the same because x is positive here and negative here. 5 is negative here and it's positive here.
Dang.
So they're not the
Bubbles
same.
dripped. So wait, wouldn't they just be like, so couldn't you just like rewrite it or something? Like wouldn't it be?
How?
Oh, x minus negative, x plus 5, and then x.
So Maddie and Manuk, you gotta watch this part.
So you could like put like x plus 5 instead of 5 minus x. Is that possible? Negative
Well,
x plus
I
5.
can't change the negative to a plus. Right?
Negative x plus 5. Like rewrite it or something. I don't know. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
So you're saying x minus 5 and then over negative x plus 5.
Yeah, so that way it's like line up or something.
All right, so it's lined up. That's okay. That's fine. But notice I still have a positive x here and a negative x here, a negative 5 here and a positive 5 here.
But why couldn't you just...
How are they related? Can you?
No,
Yeah.
couldn't you just... Are you allowed to just switch the number of spots on the
It's totally fine for me to move the x over here as long as I keep the negative over here. And the 5 is positive as long as I keep a positive. There's a 5 here.
No, yeah. So, but then you could just switch it to do x minus 5, x minus 5.
No, I can't do that because I got to keep the negative with the x. I can't just flip these and have suddenly positive x and a negative 5.
Why not?
Because it's a totally different thing. It doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? They're
Well, why
totally
can't-
different. So,
Who
look
said
at
you
the title.
Who said you
But
couldn't do
guys,
that?
this is a lecture. Look at the title. What does it say?
Factoring out a negative.
Maddie, pay attention.
Yeah.
Look at the title. What does it say? Factoring out a negative. So what is the opposite? If I have a number line, and I've got negative 7, here's 0. What is the opposite of negative 7?
7.
Positive 7. How'd you get it?
We could just took away the negative sign.
Right. You basically multiplied by a negative or you divided a negative out of this, right?
Or you multiply the
basically,
positive
so
counterpart by
watch
changing the
this.
divide
Let me
by
just show you.
50.
If I took this, if I took something like this, I'll just take it the way Sir Roy wrote it, okay? And I'm going to say, okay, I like x minus 5. I'm going to leave it as x minus 5. I don't like the negative x plus 5, right? So pay attention, Jake. You're gonna be wanting to know how to do this tonight. The whole homework is on how to do
Okay.
this, okay? All right, I want, is this opposite this? Yes,
Yeah.
because remember, opposite means
Just take away the negative positive.
if it's negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. It's the same number. Notice this is positive x, and this is negative x, right? This is negative 5, and this is positive 5. These are complete opposites of each other. So if they're opposites, let me factor out a negative 1. I'm going to have to keep the negative 1 here. But I'm going to do this, negative 1 parenthesis, and then the question is, negative 1 times what would equal negative x?
X minus 5.
It would be, yes, exactly. And negative 1 times what would equal positive 5? Negative 1 times positive 5 would equal positive 5. Did you see what I did?
Yeah.
All I had to do, by just putting a negative 1 here and in parentheses, I could flip. I could take whatever's negative here becomes positive. Whatever's positive becomes...
Negative.
Wait, what did I do?
No, it's supposed to be x minus 5. No, it's not. Never mind.
Wait, now I'm lost. What did I do?
Good job, Gary.
Now,
So,
what did I
x
do?
minus negative x plus 5, negative 1, x.
What did I do?
What?
Gary, you're our math teacher. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm lost. Why am I so confused on this? I don't really do it this way. Oh, wait a minute. Well, hang on a second. I'm taking out, then it would be x minus 5. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. What am I saying?
Boy.
That's supposed to be x minus 5. I was thinking, I knew it's got to be x minus 5, but why is it?
Gary?
Nah, great lecture, right? This is
Yeah.
really awesome.
You're like the
God,
most
amazing. I had a
You're
little
totally
brain
gonna
fart
post
there.
it.
Okay, so in essence, by putting a negative 1 here in the parentheses, I can change the negative x to a positive x and the positive 5 to a negative 5. And now I have x minus 5 over x minus 5. So I can cross those out. So I have 1 over negative 1, which is negative 1. You with me? Right? Does it make sense? All right, let's do a few and maybe it'll start to make sense.
Gary, that's math.
So that was 3. Let's try 4.
I believe in whatever anyone wants to do.
Okay, let's try this one. X minus 10 over 10 minus x. Well, those are opposites, am I right? Okay, I saw that, see?
Okay.
Okay? Those are opposites. And I don't want opposites. I like my x minus 10. So I'm going to keep that. But I want to change my 10 minus x to be positive x minus 10. So since I'm just changing the sign of both of them, all I have to do is factor out a negative 1. What is 10? Remember, factoring out is just dividing by that number. What is 10 divided by negative 1?
Negative 10.
Negative 10. What is negative x divided by negative 1? Positive x. All right, now I could just rewrite this. That's x minus 10, right? So I could have x minus 10 over negative 1 parenthesis x minus 10. Because the x is positive and the 10 is negative. And now these are the same. So I can just say 1 over negative 1, which is negative 1. You with me? Factoring out means I'm just dividing this one, each number, well, never mind. I'm dividing this number by negative 1 and this number by negative 1, which gives me...
I get it.
Well, wait,
Right.
well, the
Makes
final
sense,
answer,
yeah.
wait, what was the final answer of the last one?
get it?
Negative 1, I think?
Will it always be negative
Oh,
1?
okay,
Well,
I see
so
what
far.
you're
No, I'm keeping them simple for a second until you get the theory behind it.
doing. But here,
Oh,
Gary,
this is, but
what
it,
if the number was negative? Would you just divide by the number? The next.
What if what?
What if the number was negative? Would you just divide by the number? Because that's the x. Because the x is 1x. So you divide by
I'm a little
negative
confused. Give me a problem. I don't know what you mean.
So, let's say the 10 in this was negative.
It is negative.
Oh, okay,
Here
okay.
it's positive, but here it's negative. I'm wanting to turn this one to a negative. Therefore, you know, another way you could think about it, I think of it as factoring out a negative 1, and that's usually how it's described. But you could also say negative 1 times what would give you a positive 10? Negative, because you want it to be, what am I doing?
Gary, you should have an extra
I want this to be a positive 10, so negative 1 times negative 10 would be positive 10. So that's legal, and then negative 1 times what would be negative x. Negative 1 times positive x would be negative x, right? That's another way. I think it's easier to just think of factoring out a negative 1. All you do is you put your negative 1, parenthesis, and then you just change the signs of what you're putting, right? The signs change. I also will flip the order. I'll put the positive 1 first and the negative 1 second. So I'm going to do it that way this time. Let's say I have x minus 2 over 2 minus x. Well, I like my x minus 2, so I'm going to say x minus 2 over, and I want this to be flipped. I want the x to be positive, so I'm going to do negative 1 parenthesis, and then I can have a positive x and a negative 2. So I do it all in one move. You writing this down, Jake?
Oh,
yes.
I thought you got it in a checkpoint.
And suddenly these cross out. So that gives me 1 over negative 1, which is negative 1. Notice, this is no different really than this. If I had 4 over negative 4, what would be my answer? It would be negative 1. Right? The 4s are opposite each other, right? These are opposite each other. I still get negative 1. Right? All right, so let's try another one. Can I erase?
Wait, so, yeah, go ahead, erase it. But if it is, how do I say this? Okay. If it's x minus 233 over 233 minus x, will that be negative?
X minus 233 and
233
minus x. Then it would be x minus 233 over negative 1 times, now the
So
x is positive.
as long as the solid number or whatever are the same, and then it's always
Yes.
x minus blank
Yes.
over blank
Yeah.
minus x, it'll
Right.
always be negative.
The only time this works is when they're exact opposites.
Yes.
The x is positive here, the x is negative here. The
Yep.
number is negative here, the same number is positive
Okay,
here.
I thought so.
That's the only way this works. Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's make it slightly harder. Okay, so let's go to 6. Let's say, do I want to choose one from here?
Which problem is it?
Well, let's say I do x minus, wait a minute, hang on, let me do this again. Let's say I do this. Let's say I give you 4 minus x over x squared minus 16.
I knew you were going to do this.
So now we got to use what we used last night, the idea that we try to factor the numerator first if we can. If we can't, then we try to factor the denominator, all separate from each other. We don't look at them both at the same time. We just look at one at a time. Yes, Sam?
So, bottom one.
Okay, so I'm going to draw my fraction line. Can I simplify 4 minus x? Not really, not right now. I'm going to just do 4 minus x. Downstairs, Sam, what would I do?
You would have to, so these are both like the square roots.
Yes.
The problem is just be
X minus 4.
X minus 4 times
oh, x plus 4.
x plus 4. Oh, wow, but unfortunately I have 4 minus x, not x minus 4. So, you guys watching this, you know schematic?
Right.
You can do the negative 1.
So I'm gonna, for the upstairs, yeah, I'm gonna make the upstairs, I'm gonna do the negative 1 parenthesis, the negative x becomes positive x, the positive 4 becomes negative 4, all over x minus 4 times x plus 4. And the x minus 4s can cross out. So my final answer is negative 1 over x plus 4. Right? You see it? Let's do another one like this. Let's do 5 minus x over x squared minus 25. All right, Manuk, help me. What would I do?
Alright. So to divide the bottom one by 2?
Look what I did on this one. This is the difference of two
Oh,
perfect
no,
squares.
you do the factoring thing,
Right, which is what?
5. X plus 5 and x minus 5.
X plus 5 times x minus 5. And then upstairs I have 5 minus x.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so says like that.
So 5 minus x. Now, can I do something?
Yeah, and then you can
Cancel
cross
out.
out with the x minus 5.
Not yet. I have to factor out a negative 1 first.
Why?
Because they're
That's what that's what the whole lecture so far has been about while you've been drawing. So,
Yeah.
right?
Uh,
Okay? So that's why I'm asking you to pay attention.
done.
By factoring out a negative 1, the
So it's
5
negative
becomes
5.
negative and the negative x becomes positive.
Yeah.
So I could say x minus 5.
And then you can
All
cross
over x plus 5 times x minus 5.
out, and you cross out.
I cross out the x minus 5, so I have negative 1 over x plus 5. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? It's pretty awesome. It's an awesome little trick.
Does Maddie know how to do it?
Yeah.
What?
All right, so let's say, can I erase this?
No.
Well, I mean,
What number was I on?
Thank
What-
you for
What number was I on, guys?
I know.
Guys, what number was I on?
7.
You just
So
go to
8?
7.
Now it's on.
No, he's on 7 for me because
No, now
I
he's
did
on
2-1.
That's too bad. We're on 8. Get with the flow.
Alright, so now I'm going to do one that is on the homework.
Which one on the
Number 8.
You can't see me.
Okay. So look at that. What do you notice that you could do? Factor what?
Why? GCF out of the denominator.
Alright, so she's saying that we could factor the GCF out of the denominator. What's the GCF?
2.
Raise common
2,
factor.
parenthesis, x squared, plus x minus 2. Okay. What about the numerator?
Also 2.
Oh, you could also do the numerator. You could factor out a 2 out of the numerator. Both terms have a 2. So what would I have?
Negative x.
Factor out a 2. 2 divided by 2 is
There, you can just get rid of the 2's.
1
Yeah,
minus
2.
2x divided by 2 is just 1x, right? You with me?
Yeah.
Right? You see what I'm
Can you
doing?
cross out the 2's or no? Are you allowed to?
Yeah, these twos can cross out right away.
And
Now
then you
what do
get
I do?
1 minus x over x squared plus x minus 2.
So, wait a minute. Isn't this a quadratic trinomial? Can I factor that?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That, but
Damn.
Oh.
What would it be? Factors of negative 2 that add to a positive 1.
Could be a D.
Negative 2
2 minus 1. So sorry.
Alright, x minus 2, excuse me, x minus 1, what am I doing? X plus 2, guys, you're making noise, Jake, okay? I'm hearing it a lot. Okay, do you guys agree with me so far?
And then you can do negative 1.
So, yeah, so these are opposites. This is positive x, positive 1, negative 1. So I'm going to do my little trick and then make it x minus 1. All over x minus 1 times x plus 2.
Oh, look at that.
And the x minus 1's cross out, so I have negative 1 over x plus 2.
Hey, Gary.
With me?
no.
Yes.
Make sense, Soraya?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You
I'd
got
say
it?
no because
Okay,
he's about to
yes.
say.
Jake,
Just 5.
just to 5. You guys are starting to understand this?
Yep.
Okay.
Three.
All right, 8. 9. Let's try another one. What do we have? We have 15 minutes.
But we should have some time to
Um,
work on the whole.
So let's say I gave you. Let me try one that's a little trickier. I know I did some. All right, let's try this one. Let's try. No, this is number 9 on the homework. So 2x minus 16 over 64 minus x squared. So guys, everybody needs to stop drawing for a second and pay attention to this one. Okay? Because you got to use the same stuff I've taught you, but it's slightly confusing.
Oh, Gary,
What do you notice? What can I do?
can we switch around the x squared and the 64?
Then it would be negative x squared
Yeah,
plus
then
64.
we do a negative. Then we do a negative 1. So we
But
times
isn't
the bottom
this
negative 1.
isn't this a perfect square?
Yeah, if you
64?
switch it around.
But it is right now. It's the difference of two
Oh,
perfect
so you don't
squares.
switch it around?
Well, if I switched it around, I would have to. I could do that, but I could do that. I think well, I guess I could do that. So you're saying use the negative 1 idea?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? We could do
Yeah.
that. We'll try that. 2x minus 16 over, he's saying negative 1 parenthesis, now we've got x squared minus 64. Is that what he said? Right? He got this, now it looks like the difference of two squares, the way we're used to it, right? But we got to keep that negative 1 there. That's important. Now, what else can I do?
The top, you can divide the top by 2.
Okay, so top I could factor out a 2. So that gives me x minus 8 over negative 1 parenthesis. Can I factor this?
Yes.
What is it?
X
It's x. It's x.
X
no,
plus 6.
It's x plus 8.
Uh-huh.
X plus 8 and x minus 8.
Okay, now what can I do?
plus. You can
Cross out
You
the
can
x
cross
minus
the
8.
x minus 8.
There you go. Great. So my final answer is 2 over negative, I'll just put the negative. You guys know that negative anywhere in a fraction can
Takes
be
a
anywhere,
whole.
right? I can, if I've got a negative underneath, I can put it above, I can put it in front, I can put it anywhere I want.
Behind.
So, well, except behind. Thank you for pointing that out, I've never thought of that. So, yeah, so we got 2 over x plus 8. What is my excluded value for this? I'm just curious.
X
Cannot equal negative 8.
I mean, X cannot equal negative
It's negative 8.
4. I mean,
Right, but I agree, negative 8, I agree, but you're looking here. But where do you have to look? Manu, Maddie,
Oh.
where do you have to look for excluded value, Maddie?
Oh!
You have to, the 2 and the 8.
Where do you have to look for excluded value? You go back to where you first factored it fully,
Yeah.
right here. What would this x have to be for this to be a 0?
-8.
What would x
Yeah.
have to be for this to be a 0?
Positive 8.
Positive
So
8.
it's just 8.
So x cannot equal plus or minus 8. You guys with me? You see that?
do you need to
Because
add
this is-
the excluded value?
What?
If the excluded
If
value
it does say to do this. State the excluded value. Because I want you to get good at that. It's really easy, right? This is really easy. X would be negative 8 here, x would be positive 8 here. X can't equal positive or negative 8. Right? Alright? Let's see, let's just do one more that's kind of weird. If there are. They're not all this, where you have to factor in -1. In fact, there's not very many on the second page. We'll do number 10. So we got 3x squared minus 27 over x squared plus 5x plus 6. What do I do? Factor what?
3x squared minus 27.
So what do I do?
3x
You know, that's what I-
squared minus.
So 3 parentheses, is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
X squared minus 9.
yes. And then you can like simplify that more.
Okay, so I'll draw my line. 3.
Where x plus 3, x minus 3.
You guys seeing this?
Yeah.
And then the bottom
Did you see
we
it?
can do is
Right.
would be
Uh,
x plus 1, x minus 1.
me.
Wait, I mean 8.
Minus
X plus
6.
1, x minus 6.
No.
Wait, what?
No. No. X minus 1, x plus 6.
What do you mean? Oh.
X plus 6, x minus 1.
All right, so here I've got x plus 6 times x minus 1. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now what can I do?
You can't really do it. Well, you,
Did we do everything right?
yes. I think.
And we can't do anything?
Oh,
You're right, we
Oh.
can't.
oh, oh.
Right?
Oh.
And this,
Oh, I was
sometimes,
gonna make it-
sometimes you won't have terms that are the same. And so you just have to leave them like that. I recommend you keep them in factored form. Don't then just re-multiply them out. Keep them like that. Always with rational expressions. Once you've simplified, keep them simplified. There's maybe one exception, and that's when we're adding and subtracting rational numbers, but that's it. Okay? Always keep them factored, because the factored form tells you immediately, I can't do anything else. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? Factored form is what you want. So that was that one. So I think that's basically it. I think you guys are ready to just work on the homework. Is that
I don't
okay?
think so.
So,
He's been doing that for like 25 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm not so
I've been doing that.